here with my partner in crime, Janis Francis.
Janis Francis.
And we are going to talk business while drinking some cocktails. Cheers!
Cheers.
This might go a little off the rails tonight since we are not in the library.
It might. It just might.
Yeah, it is happy hour time.
It is happy hour time.
We've tried recording a couple of times and we're figuring it out. I think we may have found a solution to our microphone bleed. Just recording in different spaces. Janis and I decided to start this podcast a few months ago after I got a reading from her psychic that is a vendor at her store, the Humble Crate. The psychic, Shelly, told me that I needed to start a podcast. Mm-hmm. And she said, Janis out there has been talking about starting a podcast herself. And I said,
for 3 years.
Is that right? I said, maybe this is the inspiration that Janis needs to get started.
Right.
And here we are.
Here we are.
So I have the honor of interviewing Janis first. Janis is our first guest on Cosmos and Commerce.
Welcome.
Okay. So Janis.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us all the hats you wear. And finish it up with telling us about the Humble Crate.
Okay. Today I'm wearing this awesome state patch hat that one of my vendors makes, actually. Okay. So anyway, but as far as my profession, first of all, I have been an area realtor for going on 26 years now. Got my license in 1997, and I've been with RE/MAX the entire time. So I think that's impressive. Is quite... Yeah. A lot of realtors that they change brokerages a lot. I just love RE/MAX. I love their concept. I love being a RE/MAX realtor. So I'll probably never change. I've been there 26 years, so why change? Let me see. So I've been doing that 26 years. And then in 2017, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw an ad on the Pickerington Village Association. They were looking for a farmer's market manager. And I thought, I know. I was like, Dave, look at this. They're looking for a farmer's market manager. And he goes, that's right up your alley. And I'm like, yeah, because, I like to farm. I like to garden. I like to make jams and jellies. And I just like to do all that kind of stuff. And I try to be natural as best as you can. But anyway, so I became the farmer's market manager. I applied for that job the last day, the last minute, the last hour. I had never in my life filled out a resume. Like when I worked for the state before I got my real estate license, I got that job in 1980. And that's when you walked in, knocked on doors, and you filled out applications by hand. It was before computers and all that kind of stuff. I know all jobs now, you got to apply online and stuff, I think.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? But then in 97, when I got my real estate license, I didn't need to fill out an application for that. I just took the classes and interviewed brokerages and picked one. Yeah. So I Googled cover letters and I Googled resume and I was like, that'll be easy because I've only had a few jobs in my life. So anyway, and it had to be postmarked. So I carried it down to the post office.
Did you mail it?
I popped it in their post office box.
Okay.
A post office box. Anyway, so I got that job and I did that 2017, 18, 19, but I still was doing my real estate.
Okay.
But anyhow, through all that, I met a bunch of vendors and I decided to move forward with something I had been thinking about for a very long time. And that is to have a shop. Two of my aunts and uncles had shops. My one uncle was an auctioneer. And I just always thought it was a cool existence to have a shop. My aunt and uncle had a gas station, store, and diner. And then they lived behind this house and up above it. So I I know. It was way cool. It's way cool. They still live there. They're in their 80s and they still live there. So my daughter and I talked about it, and I asked some of the vendors at the market, farmers market, I'm thinking about opening up a shop. Would you want to be a vendor in there? Kind of consignment, like they pay rent to be in here, and then there's a small consignment fee on each item that sells.
Okay.
And I had 30 before I even put it out to the public that I was looking for vendors.
Wow.
So,
What was
yeah,
your goal immediately? Like, how many vendors did you want before you opened?
I didn't even have a number because I didn't know. Everything has really evolved. I've pivoted a few times since I've been here, almost 4 years now. And I didn't really have a goal. I just wanted to have enough to fill the space.
Yeah.
And now I actually have a
Really?
waiting list for people
Wow.
who want to be in here. Yeah, yeah. So that's good.
So tell us a
So that's
little bit
good.
about your store. What kind of vendors are in there?
The newest thing right now is freeze dried candy. I've got specialty foods that are cottage type foods. I can do candies, granolas. I've got local honey, cake pops. I've got
Yes.
Third and Spoon, the edible cookie dough. I've got spices, spice blends, beer bread mix. I've got local flour, like grown and ground and packaged right in Carroll, Ohio. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got wax melts, candles, pottery, glass, iron, steel, metal, wreaths, paintings, got local artists, macrame, plants, just a little bit of everything. There's 70, over 70 now. I have local book authors. I just signed a new one on today. She just walked in the door today and she said, "Hey, I wrote this book and can I have it in here?" And I said, "Sure."
So,
So
what does someone like that book author pay for space for you to sell it?
it varies on the space that they take.
Okay.
Sometimes are in some, there's very few, but some of the things that don't move quite as fast, I'll do like a split with them instead of monthly rental.
Oh, okay.
But the majority in here, there's I only have a handful that I do that with, but the majority in here pay rent monthly, and it starts at 25 a month, and there's a 6 month minimum contract.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then we pay out
Yeah.
monthly.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Especially
Yeah,
for like
yeah,
higher
it's
ticket. Yeah.
oh yeah, because I'm open 4 days a week, and I'm open for all the special events. And second Thursday of every month we have our shop hop, and I'm open late. And a lot of people pay a whole lot more than that for one show that's only say 4 hours long.
Yeah.
That's seasonal.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bargain. And a lot of my vendors have been in here since the beginning. I've got a lot of good people that are in here
That's
that
awesome.
believe in me. They believe in the shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that you're a community favorite because people like seeing other people who help people succeed. Does
And
that
I
make
like
sense?
seeing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like seeing other people succeed. There's a shop, a coffee shop that opened on Refugee Road across from North High School. And she came in here and she was asking me some ideas on, she was thinking about having a pop up there. So I just sent a thing out to all my vendors in here. Hey, she's thinking about a pop up. Would you want to be there? And then now I think three or four of them sell stuff in her place too.
Oh, like
So
permanently. Okay.
yeah, she just put up some shelves. It's not real big because she's her main thing is selling coffee. And today she posted that she made some bacon cheddar scones, and I wanted to stop and get one so bad,
Oh,
but I
those
just
are
didn't have
good.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. I just didn't have time.
Yeah. So
Um,
that coffee shop's name is Sorso Coffee, and
it is.
we're talking about Pickerington, Ohio, for those of you wondering,
Hmm?
because we know worldwide this podcast is going to blow up.
Blow up. It's going to explode. Explode.
Yes. We're going to get people in England wanting to come to Pickerington, Ohio to
Come
Humble
on
Crate and
down.
Sorso Coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. But Robin there at Sorso Coffee, she's super sweet, super nice. And I was just like, you know what? I just want everybody to succeed. I don't mind sharing ideas or even vendors because,
Right. Maybe I'll have
because I
to grab some of those vendors when we open up our new space.
definitely.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years with Humble Crate?
So in 5 years, I see myself actually, I love this area. I want to remain in the old village of Pickerington because it's quaint. This building was built in 1880,
Oh, wow.
but it's small. I only have 800 square feet, but I've got 70 vendors in here. But I would love to expand.
Yes. How many vendors would you ultimately like to have, do you think?
If I can expand, I can handle as many as, yeah, as
200?
many as,
Yeah.
sure.
How
Yeah.
much more
I
space do you think you would need for that amount? Come on, let's manifest it. I know you believe in
I'd say
manifesting.
double the space. I do, and that's one of the questions. But yeah,
I know.
definitely, I do definitely believe in manifestation.
Okay.
Just put it out there, and I think that if you talk it to be real, it will be real.
Okay. So
I do believe
Janice
that.
would like 1,600 square feet in Old Pickerington
Hmm.
universe. Listen up.
Yeah,
All
hear
right.
me, hear me
Here.
now.
All right. So, what motivates you to work hard? What's going on inside your brain to make you want to expand?
What motivates me is doing a good job, being a good role model for others, and then you got to live up to it, right? Because if you
Yeah.
don't, then you'd be embarrassed and go hide in a corner. But that kind of motivates me right there. And I've got 70 vendors in here that I try to do the best that I can for them, and that motivates me. And that's just the store, but like for the real estate side of it, took me a while to become self motivated because from the age of 18 until I got my license to sell real estate, I always just had a job and people told me what to do. So it took a minute for me to realize you got to push yourself to get
Yeah.
things done. You've got to be
Nobody's
self
going to tell me.
employed.
Nobody's going to tell
Yeah,
me what to do here. I got to.
exactly. Exactly. So, anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I put myself in Remax because I felt I was already 40 years old at that time, changing jobs. I had a mortgage, I had two little boys, and I had to throw myself in with the best I felt in order
Yeah.
for me to succeed.
Following the footsteps of those who went
Yeah,
before you. And
like iron sharpens iron, right?
yeah. Yeah, we know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
All right. What is your current passion project?
I've got several projects, and it's not like one big passion project. I have several what I call piles of ambition I have laying around my house that I need to get done. And that's not even a passion. I know what you're talking about. It's like something like a big passion. I just feel successful if I make it through a day or a week or a month or a year. So I really don't have a passion project,
No.
except I do have something in mind. Okay, because for the board of directors for the chamber that I'm on there, and I'm going to be chair
Yes.
next year, I love to encourage junior entrepreneurs that want to be like inventors or that want to make things or sell things. I've got about five, I call them juniors, in here in the shop that make things and they want to do their own business. So I like to foster that.
That's so cool.
Um,
Yeah.
mindset for them. And if they start making money at a young age, one's 12. I've got a brother and sister that's probably, I think they're 6 and 7 or 6 and 8, something like that. Megan, that makes the scrunchies and headbands, she's just turned 15. Morgan, that makes the tumblers, she's 12. I got a new boy in here recently, and he wrote a book and it's all about collecting seashells and it's like a guidebook to
Oh,
seashells. I know, but he is like a local expert. He has a Facebook page of his own called Evans Seashell Museum or something like that, and he's
I've seen this on Facebook. Yes, I've seen.
if I would call that a passion project, I like that. And I also love to support veterans I've got veteran vendors in here. My son was in the Marine Corps. My brother was a Marine. My nephews both were in the service. So I like to support veterans and
Awesome.
our youngsters. So
Those are
let's
your
say
two
that.
soft spots.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Actually makes me get a
Oh.
handkerchief. It actually makes me cry a little bit. So
And
I
Joe
guess
was in
that's
the,
passion.
yeah, my husband was in the Air Force. Did you know that? Okay.
I think we may have talked about that. My guy Dave was in the Air Force as well. So
Oh,
we should hook up and they
we
would have a
should go
lot
on a
to talk
double
about, I'm
date. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back to the Humble Crate. How did you come up with that name? It's so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, actually. I told my daughter, because she and I had started about opening up a store where we just refurbish furniture and stuff like that before I even became the farmer's market manager. So this has been in my head for a while. But I told her I wanted a store that is the exact opposite of a big box. And humble is an opposite of big,
Yes.
and crate is another word for box.
Yes.
So humble crate, and then I added artisan marketplace. When I first started, it was just humble crate or the humble crate, and then I added it artisan marketplace.
Yes. It flows. It
Yeah, I
flows
like
so
it.
well. Yes.
Yeah, I like it. And then I drew up the logo. And then Jennifer, at the time, Jennifer's my daughter. She worked at Dick Blick Art Supply, and this girl that worked with her was like an art major, and I gave her my rendition of what I wanted the logo to look like, and her name's Taylor, and she created this for me from my vision, and that's what's on the sign.
Oh, wow. So somebody drew that. Oh, that's nice. There's your
Yeah, that's
stamp.
my stamp that goes
Yeah.
onto the bags. Yeah. So anyway,
You can also see her logo on her website, thehumblecrate.com.
yes, that Michelle was so good in getting it together for me. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. That was fun. Maybe I should make something to sell in your store and then I can have free rent and I'll do your website still.
Sold. Do it. I didn't even have to think about that.
If I gotta figure out what to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you want. I'll make space.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What purchase of $100 or less has most positively impacted your life recently?
So the fact that we're here doing this podcast, right? So
Yeah.
this microphone and everything, I purchased this. It was like 3 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
And I had it like right here on this counter for the longest time. And then we had the pop up with Shelly, the psychic, Shelly Wasaki, the Positive Spirit Collective. And
Shut up.
I know, right? But anyway, it was sitting here, but that was right about $100. Not a whole lot.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, because this is going to start a whole nother dimension and
Yes.
layer to my career
Yeah.
and yours,
Yeah.
you know?
We're hoping for like good marketing type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a skill that you would like to master?
A skill that I would like to master. I used to sew all the time, and I would love to get back into sewing.
Okay.
Those piles of ambition.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm short, right?
Yes, I know that.
So I've got piles of clothes at my house that I bought that aren't quite right.
Oh.
But I
So you
haven't
want to
taken it back so I could alter. And I used to sew all the time, but I've just gotten away from it. Once you get away from something
yeah.
like that, you are afraid to start back up, or I might mess up, or my sewing machine. I've got 3 sewing machines, and I don't think any of them work. I need them serviced. I think they're fine. They just need service. They probably are all dried up from lack
Oiled.
of use. Yeah, they
Yeah.
need oil. They're oiled up.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would love to master that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What is an absurd or unusual thing that you love?
Oh, is that when I said binge watching and staying up all night?
Yes. Are you going to stay for that answer or are you going to change it up?
Yeah, let's go with it because it is absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous that I do it, but sometimes I'll fall asleep and you sleep for 20 minutes or half hour or whatever, and then you're completely refreshed and then you can't go back to sleep. So
Yeah.
instead of doing something productive like dishes or cleaning or maybe trying to learn my website instead of paying somebody to do it, I just lay there and watch TV. Yeah. And I just,
Would
what,
you watch TV and sew at the same time?
yeah, probably. But then I would have to like, what did I miss? And then I'd have to rewind it. And then I'd have to go back if there's
Yeah.
something I really,
It'd take
but
you longer.
usually the TV is on in the background. It's
Mhm.
more just like noise to keep me company when the TV's on.
So,
Just
what's the
stupid
one
shows.
show that's your most guilty pleasure?
Probably Game of Thrones.
Oh,
And the Game of Thrones I didn't realize was so old because I just watched it a few months ago for the first time ever. And I binged watched every single season probably in 2 weeks' time.
wow.
That's one. Yellowstone is another one.
Oh, yeah.
I watched all of those in a really short period of time. So just that's
Nice.
absurd. It's absurd that I do that.
But it's an absurd thing that a lot of people do.
I think that's probably true.
It's not unusual, but it is absurd.
It's absurd that I stay up all night and then I come and work all day long the next day.
Yeah.
That's it. But you know what? I used to go clubbing all night long and I'd get up,
Yeah. Yeah.
still have the stamp on your hand.
Oh, yep. I'd remember those days. All right. In the last 5 years, what would you say you've been better at saying no to?
Joining groups.
Oh, yeah.
Joining groups because like in this real estate career you join every realty association and do that, and then I was the president of one for a couple times, and I'm on the PBA now, and I'm on the board of directors at the chamber. I've got my shop, I've got Remax,
Busy lady.
and I've got the house. It's like I have to live, I have to eat, I have to go home sometimes. So
Yeah.
anyway, I've said no to a lot of organizations that want me to join. Not just me, they want everybody to join. But you just got to say no. A lady a long time ago, a real estate agent, when I first got started, she said, honey, you can meeting yourself right out of this business. So if you join a bunch of clubs and you spend all your time doing that, you're not working on your craft or your
You're not
business.
actually working. Yeah.
Exactly.
Your job is going to meetings.
Exactly. So I have gotten really good at saying no and not feeling guilty about it. You can't feel
Yeah.
guilty about saying no because it's just
Yeah.
for your own mental health and your own well-being. You can't do everything.
Yeah. If I'm a big people pleaser, what advice would you give to me about how I can say no most graciously?
I would just say, thank you so much for that offer, but I just can't at this time, or I just don't see it working into my schedule at this
Yeah.
time. And most people say, oh, okay,
Yeah.
no big deal. They understand if you say no. They do
Yeah.
understand, but a lot of them might be even under pressure to ask.
I know in a lot of the networking groups, they have to ask.
Yeah, and they're under pressure to build their membership. Thank you for asking, but I just can't right now. It won't fit in my schedule. That's what I would say.
It's not in my bandwidth.
Yeah, and I've got people calling me all the time wanting me to buy ads, you do this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just not in my budget at this time. I've already spent my budget for advertising this year. I've already done it. And anyway, but most people understand if you're just real direct and you just say sorry.
Speaking of ads, what ads have you found to be the most successful?
Hey, listen, a lady came in here today, the town money saver.
Yeah?
See that humble crate ad?
That is beautiful.
Yep. And it's right in the middle. There's a chamber in the middle of the town saver.
I don't think
And that lady today literally said, I just got that in my mailbox and I've been wanting to come in here, and that's what made me come in. And
zoomed
this
right in.
visit Fairfield County,
Yeah.
destination Fairfield County. So I took out an ad for both real estate and Humble Crate on the inside front cover. I did
Okay.
those.
I like your
And I've
QR code.
Yes. And I've had a ton of people come in because of this. Now, this goes out to 30,000 people or something like that all over the state of Ohio, to hotels, motels, and places around. But those print ads have done, I got people coming in here
Okay.
saying
So
that's
they're,
why they're here.
yeah. So it's
So
paying for it. It's good.
hopefully, something else that I did was sponsoring the annual dinner for the chamber. Do you
Yeah.
remember the charcuterie boards?
Mm-hmm.
That had my logo on that.
Okay.
That's something that I did.
Branding. Yeah.
Branding. So I just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's brought anybody in here, because most of those people know me already and they know about the shop. But one lucky person from each table got to take one of those home with them. So when it's at their house, we'll see if they have the chamber logo showing or my humble crate showing,
Yeah.
because it's one or
You
the
should
other.
maybe you should make a game and say on Facebook, if you won a charcuterie board at the chamber, take a picture of your next charcuterie board, send it to me, and then I'll give you $5 off your purchase or something like that.
Hey, that's
That
good,
would get
because there were
some
like,
buzz going.
I think there were 20 tables, weren't there?
There you go. Tell me about your very first job.
So my first job, I had a couple. I was 15 and I worked at a laundromat
Ooh.
for 3 hours. My mother knew the owner and she got me this job. And I drew the line when I had to fold old man's underwears.
Yeah.
I was 15. I was 15. There is one thing that I have taken from that job that I learned in my 3 hours. When you hang up a shirt, a button down shirt, button the top and the third button, and it hangs right. Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that.
So there you go.
Okay.
And then I wonder if she got me that job after she made me quit Burger Chef. I'm trying to think. I worked at Burger Chef and I loved it. I loved working there because I got free French fries. And who doesn't love French fries? But I went there scheduled to work one day, and the manager told me, oh, I don't know if he overscheduled or it just wasn't that busy or whatever. So he told me, you can go ahead and go home. And we had our uniforms hanging in the back. I changed my clothes and I put back just on my clothes, regular jeans and t-shirt or whatever. And I was sitting there eating some fries, and my mom pulled up with my little brother to surprise me at work. And I'm just sitting there hanging out. And she
Uh-oh.
thought I was just sitting there hanging out when I told her I had to work. And she did not believe me. And I swear I was not lying. And I'm like, ask him, he's just right in here. So she made me quit that job.
Oh.
So I know. And I really liked it. Yeah. I was never, and I still am not. I'm not a liar. I'm not a good liar. I can't do it. If you lie, you just have to remember what the lie is. You can always remember the truth. So I just feel it's just not worth lying.
I'm the same. I do not like lying.
Yeah.
It is
We're
too
both
hard.
believers.
Yes.
It's too hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
start sweating and stuttering.
The truth shall set you free.
I watched this lady in a webinar thing. Her name's Jan Hargraves, and she teaches body language at a university in Texas. She's wrote a couple of books, but she went through a lot of body language signs. And she said that you can tell when somebody's lying is when they all of a sudden start using their left hand to talk a lot and they start fidgeting around. It doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said it doesn't matter if they're left or right-handed, because what's happening is they're trying to use their right side of their brain to be creative and try to come up with stories. So it makes their left hand try to help them with their right brain. It's like a
interesting
body reaction.
I think that I read some time ago that if somebody is lying or they're trying to think up a lie, that they look up to the left. So
Yeah.
that might be the same thing, or along the
Because
same lines.
so she also said that if you're watching like judge or a courtroom drama or whatever, or real life, not dramas, but when someone is telling the truth, they hold their hand straight up and down or like this. Either way.
Okay.
She said if the
Yeah.
fingers are together, that they're going to be more analytical about their answers, but they're still going to
Oh,
be truthful. She said if the
okay.
hand is tilted back at all when they're swearing in, that they're going to be lying. They're bending the truth, just like they're bending their hand.
Oh, wow.
Same if they're like this, like their hand is like cupped. I don't
Okay.
know.
Interesting.
I thought so. It makes me want to review some footage of past jury. Janis, what
Yes.
is the first step you take when you want to achieve a goal?
I like to write it down. And then sometimes it may take a while, but if you write it down, it makes you can, even if you don't even tell anybody else, it would make you accountable to yourself. Write it down. If you do a to-do list, do you do to-do list? Do you make a list like weekly, daily, or whatever?
No,
Not really.
I
I
just put it in my
do.
schedule.
Oh, okay. You use your phone a lot?
Mhm.
Yeah, see, I've got a paper, like a book, that I write down.
Yeah,
So I think if you write it and you see it and you're writing
seals it
it,
in.
yeah, for me anyway. For
Mhm.
me, everybody's different. Everybody is different. But I did that with, say, with the Humble Crate, for example. I wrote it down and I talked about it, and I like the manifestation thing.
Mhm.
And you just
Put
talked
it in the
about it and
universe.
then put it in the universe, put it out there, and I think that it happens. I did the same thing, and sometimes it takes a while. Like as far as the real estate goes, I thought about that for years, and then I finally took the classes, and here I am all these years later. Anyway,
26. Did they do anything special for your 25th?
oh, I got a Columbus Board of Realtors sent me a little pin,
Oh,
and then my brokerage did a congratulations thing on our whatever.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more aware of anniversaries and things for staff.
Yeah. I think, you know what, even if it's the smallest thing like that, I think people appreciate that. It makes them feel that they're appreciated, and you acknowledge the fact that, hey, we appreciate you being here for a year or
Yeah.
2 years or
Yeah.
whatever. Thank you. Thank you for growing with us.
Yes. Yeah. We have a bunch of anniversaries coming up, and I'm trying to like make the gifts like personal. But it's hard when I don't talk to them all very much, because I find that my business runs better when I'm not there.
Yeah. So you don't know them that well.
Yeah, I don't know them that well.
Yeah. Do you do like a monthly or semi-month get together or potluck or anything like that?
We do a quarterly meeting where we all get together, and then we do probably like a semi-annual fun get together, but we're usually doing something while we're getting together. Like last time we went to AR workshop. Have you ever been there?
Yes.
That's fun.
I have never been there,
I could
but
go
I
there
have heard.
regularly, make stuff, and then sell it in your shop.
Do it.
It would cost me more to make it than I could to sell it.
Do it. Or maybe you could come to my house and help me with my piles of ambition
Yeah.
of all the stuff. I have got so many projects. I've got stacks of wood to make things. I bought a mini chainsaw. I
Mm,
bought a grinder, and on my list is a palm sander. I have got, when I say projects, I mean I've got hammers, nails, drills, screws, bolts.
nice. I saw that project that your daughter did with the Dixie Belle paint. I
That
showed Joe and I said, we need to do this on our linen closet shelves. I think that would look really nice.
that'd be cool. I've got the stencils here at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the bells and whistles with Dixie Belle paint, right?
that's right. Dixie Belle Paint Company. I'm a elite retailer for that here at the shop. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. People come
Can
far
you hear?
and wide. All right. That wraps up our first episode for the fourth time of
This is 1.4.
Cosmos and Commerce. This one turns out perfectly. We
Yes.
shall find out.
We shall.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
You can find us on cosmosandcommerce.com. You can email Janis at
Janis@homesbyjanis.net or humblecratellc@gmail.com.
You can find me at
Michele at bodyacheescape.com.
And if you would like to be interviewed, email us.
Yes, we would love to hear from you, to find out all about you too.
Yes. We will see you next week. Adios.
See ya. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.